channel, I'm Nisi, or probably should be saying welcome back to my channel because this is part 2 of an already existing video. Today we're going to be diving back headfirst into the Fearless universe. If you have not seen part 1 of this video, it is on my channel right now. I recently reacted to the standard track list for Fearless. I had never heard Fearless before. I never heard the original or the Taylor's version, and I reacted all the way down to Today with the fairy tale. And now today we're going to be getting into part 2 of this video where we're going to be doing all of the Fav Tracks. I am so excited to get into this. Fearless was such a fun project to react to. The mixture of like country and pop and rock, and just seeing like the evolution of her writing and her artistry throughout the years. I like exploring who Taylor was back then before she got to what I would call today. I would say today Taylor's probably at like her peak of like success, her peak of at least like commercially. She's that girl right now, which is insane to me that her peak has come so late in her career. But I want to see who Taylor was back then, like when she first took off. Wasn't Fearless like her first album to really like take off in that way? I love seeing who she was back then, how she was writing back then. I want to know who it was that you guys fell in love with way back then, and I have just really enjoyed being on the journey, even if I am very late to the party. I'm very late. So like I said, guys, we're gonna be doing the Fav Tracks for today. We're gonna be going all the way from You All Over Me down to Bye Bye Baby. Thank goodness, because if this is the person that I think it is, we need to be saying goodbye like 8 tracks ago. But anyways, guys, if you guys end up liking me and liking this reaction video by the end of this video, I hope that you guys will consider hitting that subscribe button because we would love to have you around, and we still have, believe it or not, many more Taylor Swift albums that we have to get into. Also, guys, like I said, remember, we're going to be doing the music videos for this. We're going to be doing a concert video for this if she has one of those like she did for Speak Now. All the things. So make sure that you stick around because you don't want to miss it. All right, guys, let's do this. As far as I know, I haven't heard any of these 6 songs before. None of these look familiar to me. Track 21, You All Over Me, featuring Maren Morris. I've never heard of Maren Morris. Not sure who that is. I hope that I will be able to hear them. That's all I'm gonna say. All shade. Come on, give me an acoustic moment. Hey. Now we know we live when she does a little harmonica. You know we do.
Once the last drop of rain has dried off the pain.
Already with the rain.
Shouldn't I find a stain, but I never do.
Ooh,
you know,
hey.
You can scratch it right off. It's how it used to be. But like the dollar in your pocket, it's been spent and traded in. You can't change where it's been. Reminds me of me.
What the? I'm not gonna lie. My brain is like, wait a minute, hold on. The amount of like analogies that she is tied into just this first verse. It's like analogy after analogy after analogy. My brain is over here like working out the science behind all these analogies. I'm over here trying to like link it to the relationships that we've established so far. I'm like, we'll get into it in a second.
I lived and I learned, had you got burned.
Well, yes.
You clean, I've still got you all over me.
Oh, hey.
And you don't you wish you had me grin? But I did, so I smiled and I melted like a child.
Yeah.
Now every breath of air I breathe reminds me of then.
And I can't breathe without you. Held on.
God knows, too long and wasted.
Oh, that chorus is so good.
Lost tears.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Tale as old as freaking time. She's actually talked about this many times in this project. Not being able to like let someone go. It's just really hard. Like even when they're not even in your life anymore, still not being able to like get them out of your mind. She said no amount of freedom gets you clean. Like even if you're not together anymore, even when you're gone, when you're separated, it still doesn't get you clean because they're still all over you. That reminds me of the line from Back to December, wasn't it? where she's like, turns out freedom ain't nothing but missing you. Like, even when you have your freedom, it's like the thought is still all in your mind. I really like this thing that she's doing in the chorus, where she's like condensing their relationship down to like a couple of words. She keeps doing this thing where she says, I this, I that, I this. But when you tie it all together, she's literally explaining their relationship, like the sequence of events, but only in a couple of words. I like the I lived, I learned, had you, got burned, held out, held on. Like, you see how she's just saying like two words, but they're all so packed. Like, those words are so packed, they mean so much, they hold so much weight. I can't believe we got the harmonica again.
And I learned and found out what it was to turn around and see that we were never really meant to be. So I lied and
Hey.
I cried. Still got you all over me.
Yeah, something about that song is so devastating. It's the premise of the fact that you could be, no amount of freedom gets you clean. It sounds so hopeless. That's the thing. It sounds hopeless. It sounds like no matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter what actions you take or precautions you take, you're just not going to get this person out of your mind. That's what sounds so hopeless about it. And like I said, I love this 2-word thing that she's doing, and I really like how she changes it at the end. She says, so I lied, I cried, and I watched a part of me die. Like, it just got so sad, like the longer and longer that it went on. I want to get into these analogies right here at the beginning that I was talking about earlier. So she starts off by saying, once the last drop of stain has dried off the pavement, shouldn't I find a stain, but I never do. And that to me obviously immediately is reminded me of the fact that she's mentioned rain so much in this project. Sometimes she uses it to kind of describe like romantic love, and sometimes she uses it to describe sadness. I think in this instance she's using it to describe their love. And so she's saying like, once all the love is gone, or once the relationship is over, shouldn't I find a stain? Like, shouldn't there be something left of it? You know how sometimes when a relationship is over, you're reminiscing, you're like, where did all that go? Like, how were we so in love and the relationship ended and all of it just like poof went away? It's almost like you're looking for signs that it even existed at all. Tires turn stones on old county roads, that immediately reminded me of the fact that I talk about, she's always mentioning driving with these guys in the car, and I was just thinking about the opening track. She literally mentioned they were driving down the road. So in my head I'm like, it just reminded me of that. She could be referencing their love again right there. They leave it muddy underneath. Reminds me of you. When she said leave it muddy underneath, I was thinking, oh, is she saying like this guy has basically come around and like hurt her so much or tarnished her so much that now she's trying to say that she's left muddy because of that? But she said reminds me of you. She's like referring to him as mud, potentially. I don't know. It kind of makes it feel like, to me, she's saying that he has tarnished her in some sort of way. Like he's hurt her so much or put her through so much that he has like dirtied her or like tarnished her in some sort of way. I don't know. That's like so layered right there. You find graffiti on the walls of old bathroom stalls. You know you can scratch it right off. It's how it used to be. So that to me is reminding me of the you all over me concept, right? Like it's like graffiti when it's all over the wall. She's saying like you used to be able to scratch it off. But maybe now she's saying like I can't scratch it off anymore, right? Because like the dollar in your pocket, it's been spent and traded in. You can't change where it's been. Reminds me of me. What the heck? She's saying like I've just been spent and traded in. So almost like her just feeling like I'm something that people can easily dispose of. Like easily throw away, easily take here and there, give to this person, give to that person. Like nobody really wants to keep me maybe. But now she's saying now I'm in your pocket. Almost like I am being kept by you. And you can't change where it's been. Reminds me of me. What is this? What is this? That was insane. All of those like metaphors and analogies, like immediately off the bat, I was over here, my brain was working in like the first few lines. That writing, the writing on this song is insane. To encompass all of it, it's just not being able to like get over someone, even when the relationship is over, just feeling like they're constantly all over you. They're constantly like with you. But like the way that it's written is just so layered and you can just take it so many different ways. We would be here forever trying to break it down, honestly. And it's one of those songs that I'm gonna have to listen to more than once. That's really good. Like the writing on that song is actually kind of shocking me. Because not like the writing of any of the other songs on here. Taylor, you know what? These vault tracks are getting suspicious. They're getting suspicious. Because the writing on Fearless has been good, but that's a whole nother vibe. Now, where was Mary Morris? Okay, I'm starting to think maybe this is a me problem. Maybe I'm just like, maybe my ears aren't good. Maybe I'm not hearing her features, but they're clearly there. I don't know. I didn't notice. I was so occupied trying to figure out the lyrics. Maybe I missed all of that. So we're gonna move on to Mr. Perfectly Fine.
Mr. Perfect Face, Mr. Here to Stay.
Oh, it's in quotations.
Mr. Looked me in the eye and told me you would never go away.
This is giving Tell Me Why.
Mr. Every single day until the end I will be by your side.
Cause I was there when you said forever and always. Exactly. Put it in quotations at this point. Can't listen to nothing he say.
It takes everything in me just to get up each day, but it's wonderful to see that you're okay.
Hey!
Mr. Perfectly fine.
Hey!
How's your heart after breaking mine? Mr. Always at the right place at the right time.
Come on!
Hello, Mr. Casually Cool.
Eat 'em up!
Mr. Everything revolves around you.
Tracks! I love songs like this. I'm sorry. I love songs when you are acknowledging the fact that somehow people can literally drag you through the mud and just F up your entire life, your entire existence, and they can just be perfectly fine after that. I truly don't get it. I truly don't get it. I love the thing that she's doing with these quotations, and I love how she's like, she's basically listing out, oh, this is everything that you portray yourself to be. But then when like later on, she says, no, these are all the things that you actually are. Mr. This, that, and the third, Mr. Amazing, Mr. Great. But really, you are Mr. Fake, Mr. A-hole, Mr. Everything down in the gutter.
Well, I thought you might be different than the rest. I guess you're all the same.
They typically are.
Here he's got his arm around a brand new girl.
Ah!
Been picking up my heart, he's been picking up her, and I never got past what you put me through. But it's wonderful to see that it never fazed you.
Come on!
Mr. Perfectly fine.
Now tell him what he actually is.
Hello, Mr. Casually Cool.
Come on!
Mr. Everything revolves around you.
Drag him again. Tell him.
It's really such a shame. It's such a shame. 'Cause
Why'd I get
I miss
chills?
you to stay. Now I miss gonna be alright someday.
Come on!
And someday maybe you'll miss me, but by then you'll be Mr. Too Late.
Cause it's too late for you and your white horse.
Goodbye,
Come
Mr.
on.
Perfectly fine. I've been misery for the last time.
Period.
And you're Mr. Perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine.
Come on!
You said you'd never go away.
I love this song. First of all, I love the beat. I love the mess. And I love the lyrical ties. This song lyrically ties into so many of the other songs that we had during this project. First of all, immediately it's forever and always. Like immediately it's I was there when you said forever and always. And then look at the last line. Mr. looked me in the eye and told me you would never go away. You said you'd never go away. Mr. never told you why. Just reminds me of tell me why. You just hurt me this way, that way, that way, that way. Never provided any sort of explanation. Reminds me of that. Mr. Insincere apology so he doesn't look like the bad guy. Obviously reminds me of you're not sorry. I just love kind of like the sarcasm of this song. I love the tongue-in-cheekness. I love the listing out everything that he portrays himself to be, but then dragging him and letting him know what he actually is. And then also I like her tying herself in there as well, like telling us what she was during that relationship. The fact that she, after the relationship, was Miss Misery, and the fact that during the relationship she was Miss Here to Stay. Like, I also love that, her tying in what I was to him, what he was to me, what he was to the world, and what I am right now, which is Miss I'm gonna find someone better. And like I said, the too late line also reminded me of like White Horse. Too late for you and your white horse to come around, because it kind of had like that same similar ending of realizing, oh, I'm gonna find someone better that's gonna treat me better. I love the song. Like I said, I love the beat. It was very upbeat. It was very fun. I love the tongue-in-cheekness. I love the drag. I love the drag. I love the mess. I will always live for it. Always live for it. And again, the writing is just so good. We're gonna move on to We Were Happy. This sounds concerning. How about that? It sounds concerning. Oh, but we know we love a string. You know we love a string.
We used to walk along the street.
Yeah, it's concerning.
When the porch lights were shining bright, before I had somewhere to be. Back when we had all night.
Come on.
When we were happy, you threw your arms around my neck. Back when I deserved it.
When you deserved it.
When we were happy, when it was good, baby. It was good, baby. We showed them all. No one could touch the way we laughed in the dark, talking about your daddy's farm we were gonna buy someday.
Yeah.
And we were happy.
Oh.
Oh, I hate those voices telling me I'm not in love anymore. But they don't give me choices, and that's what these tears are for. 'Cause we were happy.
I see. Aww.
When it was good, baby, it was good, baby. We showed them all up. No one could touch the way we laughed in the dark, talking about your daddy's farm.
I like that delivery for some reason.
And we were happy.
Aww.
We were happy.
This song reminds me of songs from Speak Now. Like, this gives me back to December vibes. I feel like all throughout Fearless, we've been talking about a jerk. We've been talking about a nasty, rude, mean, disgusting jerk the entire time. This song feels like Taylor is feeling like guilty, because it feels like the song is about her falling out of love for someone and her hating the fact that she is. And she's reminiscing on a time when they were happy, when she was in love, and she's like almost regretting and also wondering and feeling hurt about the fact that she doesn't feel that anymore. When she had said, "You threw your arms around my neck back when I deserved it," I said, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? So I was like, we're talking about this guy from Fearless. You deserved it all. He deserved nothing. He deserved scum off of the floor. Like, what do you mean? But like I said, this is giving me like the back to December. This is giving me the Speak Now vibes. Even when she said, we used to watch the sun go down in the boats on the water. It just reminded me of in Speak Now when she was talking about walking by the water. But it's definitely just giving the vibes of this might be like a really good person, actually. This might be like a really good guy. She said that you were going to marry me. And it just seems like it's just falling out of love. And I'm not really sure why. I don't even know if she knows why. That's what I'm saying. It kind of feels like she's low-key wondering herself. I really like this song. I think that sonically, I liked how delicate it was. I liked the strings. You kind of didn't hear them like super duper prominent in all parts of the song. Sometimes they would kick in and sometimes it would die back out, which to me I felt like was also interesting because she's talking about being happy, and so in some of those times like the instruments would like rev up a little bit and then they would die back down, which I found to be interesting considering what the song is about. And I like writing from that perspective. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of people don't write about that in songs. Just the natural just losing love for someone and how sad that feels. Usually people are writing about, oh, someone else has wronged me. You know, lots of times it's not like about I wronged that person and I didn't even necessarily do anything bad. It's just falling out of love, which is such a hard thing to explain or to pinpoint. We're gonna move on to That's When featuring Keith Urban. I'm gonna listen really, really hard for Keith.
You said I know when I said I need some time, need some space to think about all of this. You watched me go. That's when I wake up in the morning. That's when it's sunny or stormy, laughing when I'm crying. And that's when I'll be waiting at the front gate. That's when I see your face, I let you in. And baby, that's when.
Oh,
I said
hi Keith.
You said I did you wrong, made mistakes, and put you through all of this. Then through the phone came all your tears, and I said leave those all in our past.
Hey.
That's when I'll be waiting at the front gate. That's when I see your face, I'll let you in. And baby, that's when.
This song's so interesting. From what I'm gathering from this so far, I don't know if I have like a complete picture of this yet, but it's kind of sounding like Taylor feels guilty about something. She feels like she's done something wrong, like she's made mistakes, and she's kind of like, I need some time, I need some space to think about all of this. And so like she just feels like they need like a little bit of a separation. And then she asks like, when can I come back? And he's basically saying anytime. He said like, I hear you crying on the phone, but leave your tears in the past. Leave those tears in the past. He's almost like, my arms are open for you whenever you want to come back. Like, I'm here to work through whatever. I'm here to move through our past. I'm willing to forgive and forget. And I want us to be together and I want to make this work. And that's like so interesting because immediately when she was opening up and she was kind of talking about how, you know, she needed some time, she needed some space. It was reminding me of the last song where it sounded like she was saying that she was falling out of love. And so I was wondering if those two things are tied, if maybe she's like having these thoughts or feelings. Remember she said, I'm having thoughts telling me that I'm falling out of love, and or that she's like not in love anymore. And so I was wondering, like, is she having all those thoughts? And so she told him like, hey, I need some time, I need some space to think about this. And he's like, okay, like, I'll give you your space. And she takes the space and maybe she realizes, no, I do want this. And she's like, when can I come back? And then they're having this conversation. Or maybe there was something else. Maybe there are other mistakes or whatever. Because he said that she said, I did you wrong, made some mistakes and put you through all this. That could be many different things. But just after coming right after the last song, that's what I was kind of hypothesizing. Hey. Yeah. I like the ending part there where like he asked her like honestly, like tell me honestly, did you think about me when we were separated? And she like lists all these instances and when I was thinking about you, and she's like, that's when I was thinking about you when I woke up, I was thinking about you when it was sunny, when it was storming, when I was laughing, when I was crying. All those times is when I'm thinking about you. And then she says in the end, that's when I miss you, that's when I want you, that's when I love you. Basically anytime ever. I love like when she does duets and when she like does like duets with like a male artist and they kind of typically take the other perspective of the song and they go back and forth. We had that in Exile the last time. Like, I love when she does that, when she has them give that perspective on that side of the relationship and she gives this side, and they're always just so well written in the way that they go back and forth, and it's almost like conversational. Yeah, so I'm not fully sure as to like what exactly the conflict was in here. It's not like specific on what the conflict is. Just that there is like some sort of conflict or some sort of mistake that she made, and she feels like she needs to think about it. They feel like they just need to like take some time, take some space to themselves. But they're constantly, throughout that time apart, they're constantly thinking about each other. I don't know if it has anything to do with the last song, but it could be any sort of conflict. And I really like this song. Like I said, I just love like the different perspectives, the going back and forth. I love that. And then they always like blend their voices towards the end. But I like that song, guys. We're gonna move on to Don't You. Also, congratulations to Keith for getting an actual verse.
I didn't mean to stare.
Oh, we know this feeling.
I heard she's nothing like me. I'm sure she'll make you happy.
The little slight laugh.
Don't you smile at me and ask me how I've been. Don't you
Tell him.
You don't know how much I feel. I love you still, so what? Don't you?
This is what I just said about the writing. This is what I just said about the writing. How does she literally sit there? That's so good. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I don't think that you did. You didn't hear it. You didn't hear it right. Did you not hear like everything that she just, the way that she just listed out that encounter? And the way that she just went through all of the emotions that I feel like I feel when I see someone that like I used to love or whatever. All the things that you think would cross your mind is like right there. I'm sure she'll make you happy. Girl, I heard that. There was a slight laugh or a slight grin, and I heard it. And you know what? I feel you completely. I support it. All those things are so real. All those things are so truly what you feel when you see an ex, or when you get like the hey text from them, like when they try to start a conversation. All those things you get. And then like the I love you still, so why don't you? Don't you? Like, it's like asking two different questions. Why don't you love me? And like, don't you love me? Like almost asking like if they do, and if not, why don't you?
Sometimes I really wish that I could hate you.
As you should.
I've tried, but that's just something I can't do.
We can work on it.
So I walk out of here tonight, try to go on with my life, and you can say we're still friends. I don't wanna pretend.
Oh, come on!
So if I see you again, don't you?
Come on!
Know how much I feel. I love you still, so why don't you?
I love how she delivers that last don't you. I really like the sound of this song for some reason. It's so soft. Don't you, don't you. Like if I touched it, it would just feel like, I don't know. It would just like feel like this. I don't know why it feels like that. I was literally like imagining like snow falling for some odd reason. Also, like I said, the feeling is just so relatable. I really like the writing of taking don't you and like making it so many different ways. Don't you as in like don't do this as like a warning, but then also asking like why don't you still love me? And then also asking again like don't you? This whole song is really just questioning, wondering, not understanding. And it's just like having to ask two separate questions is really goes to show how much she's just in the dark about this person's feelings and this person's emotions. It really just goes to show she truly just doesn't understand what happened in the relationship, where it went wrong. And it's like, you got a new girl, so like, yeah, don't tell me that you still want this. Then why would you be with someone else then? Don't you hate that? It's like, listen, if you're gonna be a jerk, do that. If you're gonna be a heartbreaker, do that. You're gonna be a cheater on top of all that. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Don't pull me into your games. And you say, we're still friends. She said no. At that, I'm not going to pretend to be your friend. You don't get to have this deep, intimate relationship that we had and just decide that you just want to be friends. That's not how that goes. That's not how that works. So then we're going to go to the last song, which is what needed to be said a long time ago. This is what needed to be said a long time ago. I don't know. We're talking about like multiple men, it feels like. So, I don't know. But bye. Bye, baby. Oh. What's this?
It wasn't just like a movie. The rain didn't soak through my clothes.
Here we go. Rain again.
Down to my skin.
This is smooth.
Lost in the gray. And I try to grab at the fray.
Smooth.
Still love you, but I can't.
Hey.
Bye to everything I thought was on my side. Bye, baby.
Okay. Hey.
Back to your hesitation. I was so sure of everything. Everything I thought we'd always have.
Yeah.
Doubted it. Then the here and the now.
And the background.
Bye, baby.
Uh-uh.
Bad, but it's come down to nothing. And all I have is your sympathy.
Girl, what is this?
So much that I can't touch you. All I want, but it's not enough this time.
Tell him.
All the pages are just slipping through my hands, and I'm so
Hey. Come on! I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. I was getting lost in that instrumental. I'm not gonna lie to you. Cause why was it so like something about it gave like a little, it was like smooth. It was smooth. And it was her vocal delivery too. Like you heard it. There were some times when she was like going down low. Obviously the song is about a love ending, a relationship ending, and you having to now deal with the fact that it's over and you having to basically move on. I like it wasn't just like a movie. The rain didn't soak through my clothes down to my skin. Because that was obviously giving me White Horse. Like the realizing that that this is not a rom-com and that this is not a fairy tale. And I'm driving away, and I guess you could say this is the last time I'll drive this way again. Again, it just reminds me of like cars and things. She's probably had like many different, drives with this person this way, and she's like, this is probably the last time I'll be driving in this direction because I still love you, but I can't. And that's obviously a very relatable, extremely hurtful feeling when you know that. Like when you know I still feel so strongly about this person, I still love them, I'm still in love with them, but I literally cannot. Like I can't be. It is the worst thing ever when you just have a whole bunch of love bottled up inside of you and like nowhere to put it. Nowhere to put it because she said it's come down to nothing. Like their relationship at this point is just nothing. It's gone. There's nothing left of it. It's not working. So it's like I have all this love bottled up inside of me that I want and need to give to you, and I literally can't. Like it's not good for me anymore to be giving you that love. And she describes in this song like feeling so confident about it. Like she describes herself of being so sure, and he was just not. Like it seems like he was never really sure about her. And that's another thing about a breakup that hurts so much. Not only are you losing the love, but sometimes the way that it just makes you feel insane. Sometimes you are just sometimes the curiosity about it and just the confusion about a breakup is what hurts more than anything. Cause it's just like, how was I so sure about this one thing and just so completely wrong? Something about that hurts so bad, and it can really cause you to linger on a breakup for much longer than you need to. Yeah, guys, I really like this song as well. I love the sound of it. Like I said, the sound of it was doing a lot. That's why I was literally over here rereading lyrics that we've already heard, because I was not 100% listening. I was so into the vibe of this. I really, really liked that song. Guys, that was the end of Fearless. We have reached the end of Fearless Taylor's version. What a project. These last Vault tracks, they were so good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, these were so good. I think some of you guys were telling me that you guys really liked them, and you were telling me that they were good, but you know, I had to see for myself. Like, the writing on these songs was insane, and that is why, Taylor, I'm getting suspicious of you. I'm getting suspicious of you, because what do you mean? What do you mean you wrote these at that age? The first lines of You All Over Me, I was just like, this writing is insane. And then the other ones, even though they didn't have, you know, all those like metaphors and analogies, just the writing of them were smart as far as like the construction of the songwriting. The way that she ties in all these different perspectives, the way that she takes a word or a phrase and like switches it on its head. I also love the sounds of these. The sounds are consistent too throughout these Vault tracks. They all kind of, not all of them, but a lot of them maintain this sort of delicate feeling, this delicate vibe. The sounds are different. They are very different, but they have sort of a similar vibe, which I actually kind of like, because it makes it feel very cohesive. My favorites, like the ones that I put like a like next to, I liked all these, let's be real. I didn't dislike any of these Vault tracks, but the ones that I put like a like next to, You All Over Me, Mr. Perfectly Fine, Don't You, and Bye Bye Baby. If I had to pick a fave of the faves, I don't know if I can do it, because I love the lyricism of You All Over Me, but I love the drag of Mr. Perfectly Fine, and the drags are important. And I love the vibe of Bye Bye Baby, like the smoothness. I can't pick, can't choose, but I'm just put that out there. That's how I feel. So guys, as a whole, Fearless was such a great project. It was such a fun time. Thank you guys for being here to experience it with me. Like I said, we're going to be getting into the music videos from Fearless, and if she has a concert tour video, I have to look into that still. I haven't actually looked it up yet, but if she has one of those, we're going to be doing that as well. We love to get into the entire universe of a project before we move on to the next one. And yeah, guys, make sure that you were here for when we do move on to the next ones, because we still have, what, Lover, 1989, Reputation, and Debut. We'll probably wait for the Taylor's versions to come out for Reputation and Debut before we do those. But it's so crazy, because I feel like when I hear about Taylor Swift's discography, when I hear about her albums, people like are always talking about 1989, and I always hear people talking about Reputation. Like, those are huge, big projects of hers. So the fact that we still haven't even gotten to those is like crazy to me. The fact that there are these two huge pieces of Taylor's discography, huge pieces of her popularity, that I still am like literally just not even tapped into yet is kind of insane. I just want to thank you guys for being here with me on this journey. As always, we started reacting to Taylor last year with Folklore, so the fact that you guys have stayed here and continue to watch and tune in, I'm just so grateful. So thank you for being here with me, and stick around for when we get into the rest of the Fearless era. Love you guys. Bye.